The CAR technique. Are you familiar with the CAR technique to answer interview questions? There is a very simple yet highly impactful and effective technique known as the CAR framework that you can use to answer just about any scenario-based interview questions, and it always wins. So today we will be learning about this very simple technique and how you can leverage it to answer your upcoming interviews and win the interviewer's heart. Hello everyone, this is Karen Fomafung, your modern management expert, business agility and AI coach, and welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time here, you're highly welcome. In this channel we share different techniques, concepts about product management, and most especially helping leaders, whatever leader you are in the business agility space, whether you are an Agile Coach or Scrum Master, product owner, product manager, release train engineer, we help all this category of leaders to be able to add value to their organization. And also for those that they just had a certification and they're lost, they don't know how to nicely transition into this corporate space, we help them break that barrier by guiding them through landing their very first job and change their life forever. And we also help those that are just starting. They have no idea that this kind of career even exists. So we help those people start from scratch and work their way up until they're able to land their very first role and succeed on the role long term. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a very simple yet systematic and highly effective technique that you can use to answer or to win in any scenario based interview question. That technique is known as the CAR technique. So this CAR technique is an acronym, and it's a very simple framework that you can leverage to answer any behavioral or scenario-based interview questions. It's so simple yet highly impactful and effective. If you understand how to use this simple technique, you will always win with your interviews, regardless of the kind of interview you're taking. So please watch until the very end. Now, what does the CAR framework represent? The CAR is an acronym where C stands for challenge, A stands for action, and R stands for results. So this technique has been broken down or extracted from the standard STAR technique of answering interview questions. So for those who may not be familiar with the STAR technique, please click that link right up there to watch the video that I made earlier regarding the STAR technique to answer interview questions. So this one has been simplified and make things very easy. So with the STAR technique, some people usually find it challenging to remember all those steps or to explain or to talk through all those steps. So this CAR technique is even easier. So if you are one of those that struggle with leveraging the STAR technique, I can assure you that the CAR technique, you would definitely love it. So how do you leverage the CAR technique? Now, when you are being asked a scenario-based interview question or a behavioral interview question, keep in mind, these interviewers are looking for you to tell a story on how you have done it, right? Whatever they are looking to assess you on for this job interview, they are looking for someone that has experience. And how are you able to tell them that you have experience without necessarily verbalizing that you do have experience? Is by walking them through stories or situations that you've handled in the past that were able to solve the similar problems that these organizations are facing. So when they ask you a question, say, for example, have you ever dealt with a challenging team member? That's a common interview question. So instead of just saying, oh yes, I have faced that kind of situation, no, you need to tell them a story. That's really how it works. They assume that you would understand that if you have experience. You need to tell them a story on how you've done it. So how do you tell that story in a way that you will ensure that you're touching on all the essential areas and closing out your answer perfectly or nicely as opposed to leaving your answer incomplete is by leveraging the CAR technique. So the C there stands for challenge. So the very first thing you would do is you would jump right in, you would acknowledge their question and set that foundation by acknowledging that, oh, you've been in this situation in the past and this is how you were able to handle it. And then you go ahead and tell a story on how you solved a similar problem. So you will explain the challenge that you encountered. It may be a situation where you met this team member that wasn't following along with the team. This team member had different issues going on. So this is a challenge you are explaining. You go ahead and explain that challenge. And then what happened next? The next picture you want to paint is the action that you took. Now that is the A in the CAR technique. You will explain the action that you took. So when you encounter this challenge, what did you do about it? You see, you go ahead and explain the action that you took. And after taking that action, what happened after that? Now, what I've observed is most of the time, people would only talk about the challenge and then they talk about the action, but they completely forget about the last part, which is the most important, which is the R, which stands for result. What was the result? What was the outcome after you took that action? That's what interviewers are really interested in, to see that you're able to resolve that issue. Even if you are not able to resolve it right away, there must be some outcome. It may be a lesson learned. Even if it wasn't a result that immediately resolved that issue, there should be a lesson learned you draw from it, or you drew from it. So yes, you go ahead and address the last part of it, which is the result. What was the outcome? So yes, that's how you ensure that you've completed the answer to this behavioral interview question. And look, before I say this very last important thing, I want to remind you all, you know that we host monthly cohorts for Scrum Masters, Agile Coaches, Agile project managers that are looking to transition into the corporate space. We don't only help you earn a certification. Our program actually is highly customized that allows people to be rooted in the concept. For us, it's just not always about passing the certification. It's about you be grounded in the concept, and then you can now go confidently take the exams to be able to validate your understanding of the concept. That's how we see certifications. And then after that, we move you up to our next level where we mentor, coach you, give you the platform to actually do the job so that you gain hands-on experience. With that, we don't have any reason to go lie that you have experience, because we give you that platform to actually build your experience, and through your experience, that's how your confidence is boosted. We train you, coach you, guide you on how to go successfully ace your interviews and stand out. In addition to that, we also guide you to land the job and sustain the job long term. Your overall career well-being, we take care of it. Look, this is the last quarter, last half of the year. You still have time. You still have the opportunity to make a difference in your 2025. So if you are among this category of people that I've listed, give us a call right now. Our contact information is right up there, or you check the description box. You'll find our contact information there. Reach out to us. We will definitely be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much. Now, once you have talked about all of the areas in the CAR technique, your interviewers will fall in love with you. That's how you're able to tell them that you have experience without necessarily telling them that you have experience. See, if you employ this technique to answer all of your behavioral and situational questions, there's no way that you will not always win in your interviews. That is the technique. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you very much, and see you in the next.